She's Jennifer Soto 2.0, and it happened in the same town. Have you guys heard about the case of Morgan Keene, the well-known realtor, and her firefighter boyfriend, who not only abused her daughter, but they taught her how to have a baby and much more? Stay tuned. Morgan had 3 daughters. Now, I think they were 2 or 3 different dads. I think 2. The younger 2 daughters are now with their father, but the oldest one had to go with Morgan's family, which is good because Morgan's family is actually the one that ratted her out. Thank God. Morgan was one of those like moms that would go on Facebook and post everything. And on the outside looking in, it looked like they had the perfect life. Like her cute little daughters, she would brag about them. Oh, my daughters are this, they're that, you know, cheer mom type of lady. But she was a well-known realtor and respected. She was featured in magazines. She was featured in the news. Like I said, she was well-known. And he was a fireman who was also well-known and respected. He volunteered and did things with children. You know, he would go to schools and show the kids about firefighting and stuff like that. No one would have imagined, though, that he was doing what he was doing. One day, Morgan texted her friend and she said, hey, guess what? How do you fix a vaginal tear? I have one. She played it off like it was her own vaginal tear. Well, her friend was a nurse or an obstetrician or something like that. And her friend said, well, hey, I think you need to go to the doctor. This isn't really something you can fix at home. So anyways, a couple days later, friend texts her and says, hey, what'd you do about that vaginal tear? She's like, haha, LOL, no issue. Argelio took care of it. Well, that vaginal tear was not her own. It was her 7-year-old daughter's. And the people responsible for that vaginal tear were Morgan and her boyfriend, Argelio, the real estate agent and the fireman. The girl confided to Morgan's mother and her aunt, which was Morgan's sister, one day when they came over. After they were told that they couldn't come, like Morgan was pretty much like separating herself and keeping the kid from, well, all the kids from her mom for whatever reason, probably to hide the A-word. So when Morgan and Argelio broke up, they were having issues, and apparently Morgan claims that Argelio got abusive with her. After they broke up, her mom and sister finally got to come over and see the kids, and when they did, that's when the little girl confided to them. She was hiding under a table crying. She finally told them what was going on, and they were R-wording her, abusing her in ways that you couldn't imagine. And like I said, it was so bad that they had to stitch her up. They used a sewing kit, okay, from Target to stitch her up. When I heard that, I was disgusted. This is one of the worst stories I've ever heard of. And I'm surprised that it doesn't get the attention that Madeline Soto's case got. I mean, Madeline Soto's case is important, don't get me wrong. But so is this one. Although, I'm glad that the little girl is getting privacy, though, because she deserves that. And from what I'm hearing, the little girl's okay now. Thank God. She, like I said, she's with Morgan's mother, and they take really good care of her. I actually peeped on their profiles a while back, because back when this broke loose on Facebook, I was really, really into this case. And I even went on and checked out, you know, to see how the little girl was doing out of curiosity. And thank God she seems okay. But, like, what they did to her was so cruel, so wrong, and disgusting. And it should happen to nobody, especially a child. But anyways, I hope I covered everything. I did a deep dive video on it somewhere. I'll see if I can post it later today. But Morgan got 20 years in prison because she got a plea deal for testifying against Argelio. So they gave her 20 years, and he got a life sentence. So they're where they belong. But what a shame. Morgan did all this to please a man. Forgot to add, that little girl said that not only did Morgan watch when Argelio would do these things, but she also joined in and used objects. And before this had happened, Morgan didn't do any of these things. Like, they lived a normal life. Like I said, she was one of those, like, Facebook stalker cheer type moms and, like, Disney World type moms. Like, she literally had a Disney World membership and would take them all the time. They had a good life. It's just gross. Morgan was always the pick-me type, though, from, like, what I could tell on Facebook. Like, she was always on there, like, trying to get attention and bragging about herself. And actually, a lot of people, like, didn't really care for her. Like, I mean, a lot of people did, but a lot of people didn't. A lot of people, like, when she got in trouble, they weren't surprised because of, I guess, how she acts and, like, her pick-me attitude with men and stuff like that. So, imagine having to be Morgan's mom, though, having to testify against your own daughter and call the cops and report your own daughter. And just to know that you raised somebody capable of such acts against their own child.